Live, ready to start another week of spooky stuff. By the way, I found one and I put there. I'm not sure if that's yours, that book over there, but I found it. I moved it there. Maybe it's yours. All right, ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Let's go. Okay, we are once again going to be learning this entire page 111A, which is going to teach us a little bit more of Talmudic spookiness. All right, Omar Reish Lakish. Reish Lakish says as follows, Arba'a Dvarim. There are four things, one who does these four things, Domoi Beroishoi. His blood is in his head, is on his head, really. In other words, he is at fault for his own death. Okay? In other words, he says anybody that does these four things is almost like committing suicide. They're putting themselves in a horrible, dangerous situation that could potentially harm them or kill them. Yeah? Umischayev benafshoy, and he's responsible for his own life. In other words, he's responsible for his death. The same thing if a person commits suicide, they are considered a murderer. You'll say, what? They're killing themselves. Too bad. Who gave you, just like you're not allowed to kill someone else, you're not allowed to kill yourself. Exactly. God gave you life. Did you choose whether to be alive? Do you say, okay, at least in your memory, do you say, okay, I'll become alive? No. Since you have to become alive, you don't have any right to choose to become not alive. And says the same thing, if a person does something extremely dangerous, okay, by doing something extremely dangerous, these people are almost like committing suicide, right? Which is, they would say they would be responsible for their own death. Elu Hain, these are those four things. Hanifne bein dekel lekoisel. If a person excretes their excrement between a palm tree and the wall, be very careful. Do not take a dump between a palm tree and a wall. If you do that, you're responsible for your own death. Or somebody that walks between two palm trees. Be very careful. Don't walk between two palm trees. It says here in Gemara, you could get killed from just walking between two palm trees. That's what it says. It says it's dangerous. If you walk between two palm trees, you could get damaged, attacked by demons. That's what it says.
Does it make sense? Any two palm trees, or it's two palm trees that are somebody owns for the purpose of making palm?
I don't know. It just says two palm trees. It says, do not take a dump between a palm tree and a wall. That's very dangerous. Also, do not walk between two palm trees. And never drink borrowed water. Right? So if let's say you're really thirsty, never go to a person and say, do me a favor. Could I borrow that drink? No. They're asking, could you give me the drink? Do you mind if I can drink this, or could I have it? Right? But always make sure that it's now going to become your possession. You're not borrowing water and planning to return it. No, that's dangerous. Never drink borrowed water. That's it.
Wait, borrowed water, doesn't that mean like used water? Like
No. It didn't say used water. Borrowed water. Again, if let's say over here we have Reuven has a bottle of water over here. Let's say I'm really thirsty and say, Reuven, do me a favor. Could I borrow this water? In other words, I'm borrowing the water. I'm going to drink the water. I'm going to return it. By the way, you'll say today, oh, what's the big deal? Everybody has water, and everybody, you could turn on the faucet and have water. In the olden days, water was a resource that you paid for. It's actually very interesting that somehow they figured out how to charge you for water today too. But I mean, again, you for drinking water, some people would rather drink bottled water that's perhaps more professionally filtered or comes from a better source with more minerals. Very nice, right? But in the olden days, they didn't have a choice because they didn't have running water. They used to pay people who used to schlep. They used to go to a local river, a local well, and it was an effort. You had to pay for their services. You had to pay for their service to bring you water. Right? Now, what's if I'm really thirsty and I go up to Shalom Yosef and I say, Shalom Yosef, I'm really thirsty. Do you mind if I borrow your water? Right? Yeah? In other words, I'm borrowing your water. I'm not giving you, obviously, I'm not giving you back that water. Meaning it's like a loan. Like loan me your water and I'll give you back water. Don't ever do that. It's dangerous and you can be attacked by the demons if you dare drink borrowed water. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You should say, can I have some water? Not
You say, could I have some water? Do you mind if I take your water? Right? The second you say that, you could give it back, but it cannot be part of the deal. It can't be that you're asking somebody to give you water, and if you and in on the condition that you're paying them back like a loan. You cannot do that, because if you do that, the demons can attack you. That's what it says here. Don't superstitious. This is what it says in the Talmud. I don't know about a black cat. We didn't speak about black cats yet. Let's understand. We're learning the Talmud here. We're going to say what the Talmud. We're not mentioning every stupid stition that everybody has out there, right? We're not speaking about that. We're talking about the Talmudic. These people knew what they were doing. They were serious Kabbalists, and they knew what could potentially make a person susceptible to demonic attack. Right? Yeah, it's talking about that. What do you think? Okay, and one of the things that could literally make you get killed by demonic forces is a person that drinks borrowed water. Don't ever do it. And somebody that walks over spilled water. Meaning if somebody spills water, don't walk over it. Don't walk over spilled water. Okay? So, listen. We have four things reminding you. Four things that the Talmud says, somebody that does it, Reish Lakish, we quoted in the name of Reish Lakish. Four things that if a person does it, it says that they are responsible for their lives, which means they can be harmed, they can be killed by demonic force if they do one of these four things. Okay? Number one is taking a dump between a palm tree and a wall. Number two is walking between two palm trees. Number three is drinking borrowed water. And number four is walking over spilled water. Now, I just want to tell you that the Gemara is going to give you certain, exceptions to this rule. We're going to tell you that this rule doesn't always apply. If any of these following exceptions exist, then you're protected. But otherwise, you're not. So in general, you got to be careful with these four things. Don't ever do these four things. Okay? Yeah? Good. Somebody who passes over spilled water, even if your own wife spilled it in front of your face, she got angry at you and she spilled a bunch of water on the floor, and you're like, "What? Listen, it wasn't just water that somehow got spilled. Maybe somehow got spilled water is like this witchcraft demonic trap that a demon came, spilled water, and somehow by walking over his water, it can trap you." The Talmud says no. Even if your wife spilled it in front of your face, so you know exactly who spilled it, you know the person that spilled it, and you know that your wife is not trying to attack you with witchcraft, and you know your wife is not trying to attack you with demonic forces. Nevertheless, the very fact that it spilled water will enable the demonic forces to have control over this person, and they should not walk over that water. Yeah?
Wow.
Okay? Now we're going to go through a few exceptions. So again, with the spilled water, we say, I don't care, even if it was spilled in front of you by your wife, somebody that you know, somebody that you trust, you know that they're not trying to harm you. Yeah, nevertheless, it's spilled water. Good. All right. Good. Where are we? Oh, Hanifna ben Dekel lekoisel, the person that's taking a relieving themselves with number two. They're having a call of duty, right? The call of duty between a palm tree and the wall. Loya Moron, this was not mentioned. Ella the lace lay dalad amas. It's that there is not 4 cubits, which according to the Alter Rebbe will be 6 feet. According to others, maybe up to 8 feet. So between 8 and 6 feet, or put it this way: if there is less than 8 feet between the wall and the palm tree, you better worry. If it's more than 8 feet between the palm tree and the wall, then you don't need to worry, right? So it shouldn't be less than 8 feet, or according to some, it shouldn't be less than 6 feet. Yeah? Where are we? Yeah. So let's read the Rashbam. The Rashbam explains why is it different if there's 4 amas or if there's not 4 amas. What's the difference? Elo d'lo arba amis. Yeah. D'lo shavak rav revacha l'shido lavar. Because if you have less than 4 amas, you do not. You're basically preventing the demon from passing. Between the palm and the kesel, and therefore this demon will attack them. Yeah. I want to tell you that there's a few things about demons attacking people that it said. One of the things that interestingly it says that if you ever had a door in your house and you close that door, you must put a hole in the wall where that door is.
You mean permanently close the door?
Correct, permanently close. Not yet.
Like seal it over.
Correct. And one of the things it says, because demons sometimes have to pass through certain doorways, right? And when you plug it up, they don't know where to go because they have no way. They can't go. They can't just walk through the wall, even though they maybe could walk through the wall, but they can't. So you have to put a hole. There's some people say you only need to put a minimal hole there. Some people say you should make it a bit bigger, etc. I'm telling you, my house, we had a fire and we did construction, and I figured, okay, well, I'm just moving. I moved the door from one place to the next, right? And a lot of weird things happened, right? Including one night, I get bitten on the toe by a rat. A rat bites me on the toe. So first I thought, okay, whatever. I started trapping the rats. I don't know what these rats. I kept on trapping one, getting rid of another. Right. One day I got bit on the nose. I don't know. In the middle of the night. It was such a big bite that I was actually bleeding. Right. I figured it might have been a rat, but the point is, it was pretty spooky that this thing was biting it. And then I thought about this door, and I poked a hole in the wall. I took a drill, I just poked a hole in the wall, and ever since then, the truth is, there was still. I had to trap. I trapped a couple rats, but then after I trapped a couple rats, they were gone, and they stopped biting. They stopped biting me. But it's only interesting. They only bit me. They didn't bite anybody else. They only bit me twice. Once on the toe, once on the nose. Right? I literally thought that was demonic reality. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was pretty spooky. And then I poked a hole in the wall and it never happened again. Right? Because again, there's something, the demons, as I told you, the demons are this hybrid between natural and supernatural. So they have certain elements of nature. They have certain elements of supernature. Right? And so therefore, part of their elements of nature, they sometimes need to go from one place to the next. And they have certain rules of how they need to operate. They cannot operate outside of those rules. Now, what happens if a demon needs to pass from one place to the next, and you blocked him somehow, and then this demon is like, I'm stuck here until I need to go somewhere. I'm busy. I have things to do, right? That might piss the hell out of that demon. And you know what that demon might do? Might bite you on the nose. Might do something else. What? Maybe it was a demon. I don't know. Somebody bit me on the nose. Yeah. And it was actually bleeding. See, when it bit me on the toe, I wasn't bleeding. So I thought, whatever, maybe, I don't know what it is. But then when it bit me on the nose and it was bleeding, it was like, yeah. And the interesting things, I didn't feel the rat coming at us. It could have been a demon because I when I woke up, I was spooked out because I was like, something just bit me. I go like this, I'm bleeding, right? And I'm looking. I didn't hear a rat, but it could have been I was sleeping, so the rat came. I don't know, but it was pretty spooky. Yeah. Yeah.
She'll in her sleep, she'll like go to like this different place.
Yeah.
And she's like fighting demons. So then in the morning when she wakes up, she's covered in scratches.
She has scratches in the morning.
Yeah. Like she's got like active scratches. Like when she wakes up, yeah, I mean like
She took care of business.
yeah, like it's what she tells me.
That's what she tells you. She wakes up with scratches. I actually spoke to a guy once that thought that he had demonic forces in his house, and he also told me he would get scratched a lot. He would get scratched. I don't know if anybody online knows about this. Anybody got scratched by a demon, right? Yeah, you could potentially scratch yourself.
Yeah, but you can see a difference between like forceful attack versus like just. It wouldn't be the tooth fairy then.
Huh?
It wouldn't be the tooth fairy.
Well, the tooth fairy is supposed to be nice. It's supposed to give you a prize. Yeah. By the way, I once had a camp counselor that my tooth fell out, and he's like, "Oh, the tooth fairy." Give me the whole story of the tooth fairy. Now, I obviously knew that this is all garbage. I just wanted to give me something, right? So I said, "Okay, I'll put the tooth under my pillow." Right. The next day, I come to my counselor. I said, "You told me all about the tooth fairy. I didn't get anything." And the counselor's like, "Oy, babe." Like, I forgot about it. Like, sure. So he said, "Try it again tonight." I tried it. I put it back there. I got a couple bucks. I don't remember what it, but yeah. Well, but I knew about the tooth fairy, right? But I wanted to play along with him, so I should get a couple bucks, you know. Yeah. Anyways, back to what we're saying. It's very, very dangerous to block the path of a demon because they have business to do. Right? They have things to do. Now, what happens? You ever see a guy get caught in a traffic jam and he has things to do? You ever see them? They freak out. They're like, "I'm in traffic jam. There's cars in front of me, behind me." Ah! They start screaming. They yell and they curse everybody out the window. Yeah, move your thinking a car. Blah, 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 you know. It's all going like mishuginous. Right? And you know how angry road rage, they call road rage, right? You need to get somewhere, you have things to do, and somebody's blocking you. Guess what? The demons have the same thing. And if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, blocking a demon's path, they will attack you. Okay? And this is one of the things. If a person is taking a dump between a palm tree and a wall, and there's less than 6 feet between the palm tree and the wall where you're sitting taking the dump, you could possibly be blocking a demon, because apparently demons like walking between palm trees and the wall. I have no idea why. I'm not a demon as far as I know. And again, they need that amount of space to pass. And if you are in that space, especially taking a dump, okay, there's no place. They can't pass. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with taking the dump. Maybe there's something about the human excrement that they're not allowed to pass. I don't know the rules, but the demons have rules, and things could block them. The same way, if you as a human being, if you're driving down the road and there's a car in front of you, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck, right? There's a car in front of you, right? You'll have some guy says, "Why don't you get out and walk?" Yes, shkoyach, I'll get out and walk. But if I'm walking, I'm not getting there with a car, and then I'm not going to get to where I want to go anyways, because it'll take me 5 hours to get there instead of 25 minutes, right? So I need my car, and I need my car to go on this road, and this guy's blocking me. You understand? So a person could get pretty angry, and the demons also. There are certain ways that you can block the demons, and this is one of the ways. Yeah? So again, but if there's more than 4 amos, whatever that is, 4 amos, depending, some people say it's more than 6 feet or more than 8 feet. So even if you're taking a dump in between the wall and the palm tree, there's enough place, for whatever reason, there's enough place for them to get around you, and then you don't have to worry because they won't attack you, because they'll have room. By the way, even attacking you, you think the demons want to attack you? The demons have business to take care of. I don't know what their business is. I don't know what they do. I don't know. I never saw an advertisement, demonic force to hire. I never seen that. I never seen it, but they have business to take care of. So they're not necessarily going to attack you unless you are preventing them from taking care of business. Then you got to watch out. Then you got in trouble. What? Huh? You're trying to take care of your business. Right, exactly. And you're blocking the demon. And the demon's like, "Get the heck out of my way." right? They give you a good kick in the behind, and who knows what, right? King Solomon got a kick in the behind by a demon. He flew like it says he like 50 miles. Yeah. Who? We're not getting into King Solomon right now, but he got kicked by a demon too, and it wasn't very pleasant. Yeah. What else? Does what? And go? No, not so much. Although there is mention in the Talmud about ghosts, and a ghost would be a little different than a demon. A ghost would basically be a human spirit that for some reason got stuck in this world after death. One of the reasons it mentions that there can be a ghost is sometimes if a person, let's say a person's destined to live 80 years, and then this person does something extremely dangerous when they're 50, right? And they get killed based on something stupid that they did. It could be that their soul will get stuck in this world till the time that they're meant to go. It could be, yeah. And so, by the way, ghosts may get, again, I don't know how the other world works. It's very possible that a ghost might get stuck here for 100 years, meaning even beyond when he was supposed to be alive. There could be different reasons why a human spirit could get stuck in this world and won't be able to leave. As a matter of fact, I heard, you ever heard of these Ouija boards? Right? It's super spooky. People that do these Ouija board stuff, what comes out. And I've actually, somebody told me that they would do, maybe it was you that told me this, that there was some Israelis that doing a Ouija board, and there was a soul that they were speaking to, and they asked him the name, and he told them the name, and they asked him, what are you still doing here? And the soul says, no one ever said Kaddish for me. Right? And so one of the people the next day went to shul and said Kaddish in the name of this person, and they couldn't find him again. They couldn't find him.
That's actually a crazy story.
Yeah. So how these things operate, I don't know, but there are rules. And again, a ghost is a human spirit that got stuck after death in this world. A demon, this is where they belong. They operate here, just like humans operate in this world. However, the demons, as I told you, they're hybrid between physical and spiritual. So they have physical elements and spiritual elements. It also speaks about that in other Talmudic places. It speaks about exactly what's a demon versus what's a ghost, and versus other things, or what exactly is the difference between a demon and an angel. Right? Angels are purely spiritual. They're not physical. Right? So if you want to interact with an angel, the angel has to get special permission to basically come into this world. And by the way, a lot of witchcraft is that. A lot of witchcraft is that if a human does certain things, they can invite a spirit to come into this world and make an action. They can also invite demons. There's both ways. It's spoken about. The magic that exists in this world could also be by somewhat inviting a demon to do something on a person's behalf. But you got to be very careful, because when you invite the demon, they might do what you say, and they might not do what you say.
It's not good.
And they might attack you instead of attacking the person you want to attack. So you have to be careful. Yeah. The voodoo.
New Orleans too.
Yeah. What did you see?
So one of my friends was telling me the story of how their uncle had a business deal that went wrong.
Yeah.
And this guy was Asian, so they put cars on the guy. And the guy was like apparently sitting in church one day, and he absolutely normal day, whatever. Takes out a big knife from his pocket and starts stabbing himself in the stomach.
Wow, that's crazy.
They're not screaming, not blank face, and it was he was 100% possessed by something.
That's unreal.
Wow. This is why you don't mess with Haitians.
Yeah. Don't mess with the voodoo Haitians. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Maybe the guy did the zuges.
Well,
Yeah.
but it says in the Torah we have to kill witches, right? But that's only Jewish witches.
Correct.
That
Correct.
can do
A
witchcraft?
a non-Jew is allowed to do witchcraft. Only Jews were commanded not to engage in witchcraft. It also depends if there's some element of idol worship. Some witchcraft is connected to idol worship, right? Meaning that they actually worship some of these spirits that they deal with. But witchcraft, as far as inviting and encouraging spirits to do things on their behalf, a non-Jew is actually allowed to do that, 100%, no problem. All right, let's continue. Let's see where our people are coming from. We have Baruch Hashem, a lot of people over here. Immoral to do what?
The witchcraft. The going.
What does it say? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't. I can't tell you what it doesn't say. It doesn't say. I've never seen anywhere where it says that a goy it's immoral. Yeah.
Is witchcraft immoral, or is it just part of the natural order? Like it's just part of the life. Witchcraft.
Witchcraft is part of witch life. Not necessarily. Some people have do it. Some the Haitians, they eat their cats. I don't know what they do. But yeah.
But most Jews have like the highest standard of morality, and like just because it's okay for non-Jews to do it, doesn't.
Well, essentially, one of the reasons. Listen carefully. One of the reasons why it's explained that witchcraft is not allowed for the Jews is because ultimately God's mission is for humanity to basically develop itself and to become something awesome. That is the job, that is the modus operandi of humanity, right? We're not meant to invite angels into our program because they don't belong here really, right? We're meant to fix our program, right? Without bringing down angels into this program. That is what's meant to do, what's meant to be, right? And therefore, doing witchcraft is kind of like, gaining powers you shouldn't really have, right? Or using abilities that you really shouldn't have. And therefore, if you're using abilities that you shouldn't have, it's actually detrimental to our true human mission. As a matter of fact, even Kabbalists that actually have kosher forms, I would call it witchcraft. It's Kabbalistic powers. It works a little differently than witchcraft, but they were very hesitant to use these powers, right? Because they felt that, they're really not meant to be used. They were only used like kind of in emergency situations, like the golem. When the Maharal of Prague made the golem, he made it because there was like, the Jews were getting, massacred in Prague, and people were just killing them for anti-Semitism. So he made a golem to protect them because he felt that he had no other choice. However, using the witchcraft is not really meant to be. We're meant to try to figure out how to do it on our own, meaning through regular human interaction versus trying to bring in spiritual forces to do things on our behalf.
What would you say about we supposed to have like flying carpet and
Again, there are stories of Kabbalists and others that used various interesting powers to do things that are supernatural, but they didn't just do it randomly whenever they wanted, right? They did it when they felt necessary in extreme situations, right? Good, some more than others. All right, so let's go back to what the Gemara is saying. The Gemara is saying that if a person if there's 4 amas, more than 4 amas, you don't have to worry about this whole thing with the palm tree and etc. Yeah. If there is, you don't need to worry about it. And when there's no 4 amas, which means when there's no 4 amas, meaning when there's less than 4 amas, we also didn't say that there is no alternative path. What exactly does that mean? I'm not sure. But apparently, if there's an easy way for the demon to go somewhere else, then it doesn't attack you. But what does that mean? What exactly does that mean, another path? Maybe if you're talking about there's a palm tree, a wall, and there's a wall on the other side of the palm tree, so it has no room to move. I don't know. That's what the Gemara says. That's what the Gemara says is, what's that? I don't know. Apparently the palm trees and the demons, they connect with each other. It says a palm tree. It doesn't say anything. That's what I can tell you what it says. I can't tell you what it doesn't say. Yeah.
But what about every time in Italy when they make the lulavs from like the palm tree?
Yeah.
They sometimes have to go in between the palm tree.
It's a good question. I mean, how do you deal with that? I mean, what, you can't go in between the palm trees? Yeah, apparently only if sorry. Again, between the palm tree and the walls, only if you're using the bathroom. However, between two palm trees, we didn't get to that. Let's get to what it says. So again, if you're taking a dump between a palm tree and a wall, if there's another path, I'm not sure what that means, another path. What does it mean, another path? But if there is another path, you're good to go. You don't have to worry. Okay? Yeah? It says also, now we're going to a person that walks, Shalom Yosef. Now we're talking about the person that goes between two palm trees. We said a person that walks between two palm trees is being susceptible to demonic attack, right? You said how you walk between if you're ever in a field or in an orchard, a palm tree orchard, a lulav plantation. Here in Israel, you have a lot of them. You go next to Tver, you can see these massive fields full of palms, right? So how do you walk? Obviously, how do you walk between them?
Because if you walk past one and walk past another set of two trees, does it cancel out the first one?
I don't know. As I said, I can tell you what it says. I can't tell you what it doesn't say. Again, over here, let's listen. A person that walks between two palm trees, is not said, meaning he's not attacked. Only if a Rishus Harabim, a public thoroughfare, is not passing through them. But if you have one palm tree on one side of the road and another palm tree on the other side of the road, and then you have a thoroughfare in between the two palm trees, somehow that breaks the demonic ability to attack you, and that's that. Now we're moving on to the person that drinks borrowed water. Somebody that drinks borrowed water, lo yamon is not said. Ella d'shaylinuhu katan. That's only if you borrowed it from a minor, from somebody under bar or bat mitzvah, which is a man is under 13 years old, a girl is under 12 years old. Do not borrow water from a minor and then drink it, because it may make you susceptible to demonic attacks, so much so that it says you would be responsible for your own death. All right? He says, however, if you're getting it from an older person, meaning a grown-up over that age, you don't have to worry about it. Even if you're borrowing it from a minor. Nami lo yamar is also not said. Ella bisada. It's only talking about in the fields, meaning away from a city, where water is not readily available. Right? Water is not readily available. So basically, here it says in Rashbam, because if it's in the field and water is not readily available, this child might be giving you the water that is really what's meant to sustain this child's life. And because you're an adult, you're this, you're this authority figure. He'll give you water that he needs to sustain his own life, and that's almost like killing. And that's why the person can be susceptible. If you're in a city where water is readily available, it's okay. So if you borrow water from the kid, worst comes to worst, the kid will find somewhere else some water. Meaning he's not going to give you water that could possibly cause him to die. He's not going to. You understand? Yeah, so then you don't have to worry. Even in the field where we said you better watch out about borrowing that water from that kid. Even there, it's not speaking about Ella Maya, it's only talking about water. However, if you're borrowing wine or beer, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about it. Right? Good. So again, if you're borrowing water, you should not be borrowing it from a child that's under 13 or 12, 13 boy, 12 girl. And if you are, it better be in a city, right, where water is readily available. Otherwise, this might cause a person to get attacked by the demons. Yeah. Now we're going to go. We spoke about crossing over spilled water. There's also a few exceptions. We said if you cross over spilled water, you can be attacked by the demonic forces. That's what it says here. Right? If somebody spills water, do not walk over it. Right? Somebody that passes over spilled water, is also not said that it's a problem. Ella, unless That you didn't separate it with dust. What does that mean? So Rashbam says that if you see spilled water, take a little bit of dirt, soil, whatever it is, spread it on the water, and then you can pass. Again, it's only if the water spilled and this water still the same way that it was spilled, then you got a problem. But if you sprinkle a little bit of dust on it or dirt on it, then you don't have to worry about it. And also that saliva was not floating on it. In other words, if you see the water, you could either take some dust and sprinkle it on it, or you could go and spit on the water. And once you spit on the water, the spit is floating on the water. Now, no more demonic power. They can't do anything, and you're good to go. Yeah? Wow. I'm seeing there's a lot of people online. They're like, what the heck is this? What am I talking about? I'm sharing you what it says in the Talmud. You like it. You can like it. You can not like it. That's what it says in the Talmud. All right? So. There is nothing in it, meaning there's no worried thing. But also we did not say there's another exception, is the sun did not pass over it, which means if the sun passed over this, right? Yeah. Seemingly that it's from today. Meaning, if it's from today, then it's problematic. If it's from yesterday, it doesn't make a difference because the sun passed. Yeah. Shisin nigri, and also 60 nigri did not pass over it. What is nigri? I actually don't know. What does it say? It is one interesting word. No.
60 nigri.
What's 60 nigri? If any of these two happened, either if the sun passed her or there was 60 nigri that went over it, you don't have to worry. What is nigri? We have to find out. No? Anybody? This guy says a black person because it's nigri. Nigri says it's a word in can't tell you. Huh? Rega. That's the word. It's an Aramaic word. They know that in America this word would sound bad. They don't know. So let's go to the Merkava. Anybody has the Merkava here? Let's go.
Why would it not just say if a day passes by? Why talk about the sun?
All right, where are we? Okay, the Merkava.
Like, why would they just not say that the next day?
No, because it would have to be outside.
Let's find out. We're going to find out what nigri means. 60 nigri.
That could make sense.
Oh, 60 steps.
Steps?
Yeah.
But what does that mean, 60 steps?
I mean, 60 steps.
Where did you see that? Yeah, 60 steps.
Walk 60 steps over it.
What does that mean?
Nigri is a step?
Apparently so. It's an interesting word to say you could call a step, but apparently so if he says it over there. Yeah. Apparently, if people took 60 steps over it, then it kind of ruined it already. Maybe. If other people did it, so the other people get harmed, but not you? Is that what it's trying to say? That's why I wanted to have my Merkava over here, not Merkava, the Sifta over here, which the other Talmud that sometimes it helps me when there's an unusual wording here. But apparently the spell is broken when 60 steps were taken over it. I'm not sure if maybe you yourself should walk on it 60 steps. Again, if you see spilled water, don't just walk over 2 steps and walk away. You should walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 60 steps over the puddle of water, and then you're good to go.
What about cleaning?
Right? I can imagine some people seeing this Jew sitting there in the street, is walking round and round in this puddle of water. And he's counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guy's like, what's wrong with this Jew? He says,
He's trying to help out.
huh?
The guys are trying to help out the community.
Yeah, but the question is 60 steps, meaning you yourself have to take the 60 steps?
Once you already stepped over.
Once you step 60 steps on it, or perhaps we're talking about somebody else. So it could be that if you step 60 steps, it could be the next guy also has to step 60 steps. Yeah. Just for you, he's gonna be like 1 nigri, 2 nigri, 3 nigri, 4 nigri, 5 nigri, and somebody's gonna be watching him in New York City. He's gonna be in New York City. He's like, what? This guy is gonna get into a fist fight, right? Anyways, what's that? They won't know what you're talking about. In Tel Aviv, they don't know what you're talking about. Well, they don't know these words. Only in America, it's like, use the words. Yeah, they think that they're racist. Yeah, that's it. The blacks in America are very angry, because once upon a time, they were once like the how should I say it? The celebrity minority they were, right? Everybody's like, oh, the blacks. Today they have the Gazans and the this and the that and they have the men that turn into women and the women that turn into men. They have so many people that are cooler minorities than the blacks today, like I would say cooler in the mind of these people. And they lost all their steam, unfortunately. They lost their touch. Right? That's it. Used to be like they had a status.
The victim Olympics.
Yeah, the victim Olympics. Today the left invented a whole new set of it used to be the real victims. The real victims used to be the victims, right? The blacks, they were victims. They were the Jews were attacked. Okay, now they started saying, listen, they want to be. The truth is, they really want to be racist. Don't say I'm sure. Really, the leftists, they want to be racist, right?
No, they are racist.
But the only way they could be racist is by saying that they're not racist in something. So they have to invent a minority. Once they invent their minority and they protect that invented minority, then they can go and attack all the rest of the minorities, right? And by the way, you look at all the places where these liberals, quote unquote, are protecting the blacks. They have horrible communities. Go look in some of the. No, I'm serious. They're gangs, violence, drugs, killing each other. Chicago, right? Chicago, Michigan, Los Angeles, crazy. Michigan is right. You ever met a black from Texas? These guys, they carry a gun on their waist, and everybody respects them. So yeah. They don't even have to argue that they're black, right? Only the blacks in Chicago that ever since they were 8 years old held an illegal gun and had to fight for their lives just to walk down the street. Those blacks, they need to use the black card, the victim card, because they were so traumatized and beaten, demoralized by their own people, influenced by some of these other people. They were so demoralized that they need to use their victim card, or else they can't get anywhere. Right? You go to some of the places where you don't have the liberals. You have these blacks. They have a house. They have a car. They actually get a mortgage from the bank. Not like Chicago. Oh, the bank doesn't want to give me a mortgage. Yeah, the bank doesn't want to give me a mortgage. You don't work a day in your life. Why should they give you a mortgage? Right? You go to Texas, these black guys, they raised with a normal paper. They normal people, and they went to school, and they have a job in the bank. What do you think? The bank knows if they're black or not? The bank doesn't know if they're black. They check the numbers. If the numbers work, they give them the mortgage. If the numbers don't work, they don't give them the mortgage. Right? Anyways, I don't know how we got into that. Oh, because of the Negris over here. Right? the 60. It means steps in Talmudic terminology. A Negri means a step. Huh? I'm going to get canceled. YouTube's going to be like, forget about it.
Honestly, I think
hate speech.
we were pre-canceled. We've already been pre-canceled.
How we been
that's why we're not.
How we pre-canceled?
Because our content doesn't get much visibility.
Yeah, but if they share it. If these people share it, then I'll get more views. Anyways, I'm not blaming the YouTube for it. They didn't shut me down yet. No, they didn't call me hate speech. Can I know that? What's that? There's worse things on YouTube. Yeah. Than learning ancient Talmudic terminologies that happen to parallel with some words that some people don't like today. Go ahead. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah. Good. Let's continue. Yeah. Where are we? Oh. Yeah. Oh, hold on. We got a little bit more for this. Let's finish. I'm just going to finish the rule. Like if spilled water, it says not to go over spilled water. We're going to finish those rules or the exceptions to the rules. This only applies if you're not riding a donkey. And you don't have shoes on. But if you're riding a donkey, and you have shoes on, yeah, that's it. Apparently, if you're riding a donkey over spilled water, you don't have to worry.
Or if it's
That's a good question. Is it donkey and wearing shoes, or it's donkey or wearing shoes? It's a good question.
yeah, what the donkey's wearing shoes?
No, I don't see. It doesn't say over here. It's very interesting. It doesn't explain the details here. It seems like it's either or. If you ask me, the wording seems like it's either or, meaning either you're riding a donkey, then you don't need shoes on. But if you're not riding a donkey, you need shoes on. Right? Meaning don't walk barefoot through spilled water, or the demons are going to get you. So don't try it. Yeah? Yeah? Just wear shoes. That's it. Now we're going to tell you the most important thing, and then we're going to finish off for the day. V'hani mili, and these words apply. Everything we just said is only in a situation where there is no, you're not suspecting witchcraft. Even if all of the above applies, you got to worry. Meaning, the four things we said you got to be careful for, and then we gave a whole list of exceptions. Those exceptions will only apply if we're trying to prevent demons from attacking us. But if there's witchcraft, you better be damn careful about those four things, because if a person does any of these four things, he walks in between two palm trees. He takes a dump between a palm tree and a wall. He what was the other one? He walks on spilled water, or what was the other one? He drinks borrowed water from a child. Now, if you do any of these things, and there's a witch trying to attack you, they should be able to attack you even in all these. Including we said with a child, but the water is only in the field and not in the city. It seems like all of these, wrap it up and throw it in the garbage, because they don't apply. Witchcraft, they'll get you if you do any of these four things. You have to be very careful. Don't do any of these four things if you are afraid of witchcraft. I mean, if you think somebody's out to get you. Like you spoke about this guy in church that started stabbing himself, right? Because a spell was put on him. It's very likely that after that spell was put on him, he did one of these things that made him susceptible to witchcraft power, and until he did that, he couldn't be attacked. And by the way, later on in the Talmud, we're going to learn tomorrow. We're going to learn a little bit more of this spooky stuff. And we're going to learn more about other things. There's a whole list of things that could make a person susceptible to witchcraft, right? And so if you know somebody's out to attack you with witchcraft, be very careful about these things. Yeah? There you go. Anyways, that's where we're going to end today's Gemara. And Bezrat Hashem, I want you to be reading it inside as best as possible. There's not a lot of different words here, but the few words, most of these words are very common. Right? Yosef Yitzchak, I want you to read this Gemara 5 times today. Yeah, you will? Is that a guarantee? Good. What about you?
How many times do you want me to read it?
Yeah. How many times are you going to read it?
Probably like 2 times over, realistically.
3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
I could do
We got to up you a little bit. Upsell. We try to upsell you. Yeah.
Like Yosef Atzadik on the ladder.
See, sometimes you have to hard sell somebody. Sometimes you have to let them sell themselves and then up them. Depends on who. Every person in their own situation. Anyways, thanks for joining. We have a question over here from Thaddeus Melachar. I don't know if I said it right. Melchior. He asks a very interesting question. He says, "Why don't ghosts have legs?"
Of course they.
Shalom Yosef says that ghosts have legs. So does Yaakov David. It could be that in a cartoon, they I don't know, it was easier for it not to have legs. It would make the looks, it's very interesting. In America, when you want to say a guy's like in dream, you say he's in dreamland, right? In Israel, if you say a guy's in dreamland, how do you say a guy's in dreamland in Israel? No, we say Chai B'Seret. Chai B'Seret means he's living in a movie, right? So unfortunately, some people watch so many movies that they're still living in the movies. They think that these movies are actually the way it's supposed to be or the way it is. Not necessarily do ghosts have.
I've seen a few ghosts
Yeah.
in my life, and they don't have legs.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've seen.
You seen a ghost?
I mean, not an actual, but I've seen one as a Halloween decoration on people's property.
Did they have legs? Yeah. So does that prove that ghosts have legs because on the Halloween decoration there was legs? Is that a proof that they have legs? Because how else would somebody make a Halloween decoration if it wasn't accurate, right?
My house in England has
That's a data point.
It had ghosts in it. You met them? Did you have a conversation? No. Why not? If they're already there, say how you doing, what's going on.
Usually you can only do one or the other. You can either communicate with them or you can see them. It's very rare to see them.
Okay, so stop saying. Let me stop saying you, and I want to talk to you. Huh?
I don't know. I just remember I saw a ghost. It was like the old highwaymen who used to rob you.
What do they look like? What did the ghosts look like when you saw the ghost?
It was wearing these old robes.
Did it look like the ones in the movie?
It's kind of there was no color to it. It was gray, wispy kind of thing. He was wearing these robes. He had a flip-flop pistol.
Had a pistol? I didn't know if ghosts have guns too.
Well, the area in England which my house was,
Yeah.
Years ago before the town was properly stuff, it used to be a spot where highwaymen used to go and rob people passing by. So.
All right. Good. We can close up, and that's that. We'll see you
Is that the same
tomorrow for
highwayman
some more
from